Hey, Shalom. I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Right? I got another quick video. Right? This is from the Bloomberg Law. It says, push for digital ID tech development spurred on by pandemic. Now we know with this whole thing that's going on, people that, are afraid, all right, of this catching the whole corona. All right, which there really is no coronavirus here, all right, in the United States, all right. They're playing stupid with you people because they know you're stupid, all right. You American people are stupid. You're the stupidest people on the planet Earth, all right. And that's not a conspiracy. That's facts, all right. You don't do any research, all right. It says technology and financial companies, including J.P. Morgan Chase and Co., MasterCard Inc., and Microsoft Corp. Are pushing to accelerate digital identification systems, hoping to iterate massive data breaches and overreliance on Social Security numbers. Now, we all know, all right, with this, there's a group called ID 2020, all right, and Microsoft is a part of it. All right, they're actually the heads, not heads, but they're the first ones to join. Okay, and we know before Bill Gates, all right, he stepped down as CEO. We know that last year, they filed a patent for I forgot, it was 060606, all right, which basically is it's a chip, man, all right. And within this chip, all right, with this RFID chip that ESO's, hoping to push out very soon, is going to have all your information, all right, your credit cards, your money. As you can see, why JP and Chase and MasterCard are involved. And so is a Visa, all right. Visa, MasterCard joined the ID 2020 group, all right. And we know why they did that, all right. The scripture says we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, okay. And what they want to do is put all this information, your keys, having your car keys, your house keys, your money, your Social Security, your driver's license, your health insurance, and other personal documentations in that chip. All right, instead of carrying it physically with paper and card, they're gonna do away with that and make everything digital. It's gonna be a digital society, 100% digital. You're not gonna be able to do anything unless you have that RFID chip. Okay, it says the Better Identity Coalition, a coalition of the companies advocating for the technology. All right, so they're pushing it. All right, has nudged policymakers and floated possible measures of government actions for months. It says a new House bill introduced Friday would encourage development by creating an interagency task force, technology standards, and grants. Colorado also is leading the way, unveiling a state-authenticated digital driver's license stored in a mobile app. Paperwork and aid applications for COVID-19 pandemic programs have added urgency to calls from financial services. Technology, security, and healthcare companies to broaden digital identity adoption. Companies and states are tinkering with different formats. If widely adopted, the technology could cut down on massive regulatory costs involved in identity verification and legal costs following breaches. All right. So they're pushing it that this is going to be more beneficial. All right. If we put everything digital, that there won't be as much we won't have Salaki, the words in my mind. it'll cost less. All right, the word escaped my mind, but and the excuse is also that it's not gonna be a lot of identity theft. All right, which really having everything in a server, it is higher risk of identity theft because you got a lot of hackers out there. All right, that hack things. All right, that hack people's information, hack major corporations. All right, that's why your debit card has those chips in it, man. All right, because going a couple years, a few years, back in 2013, 14, 15, I don't know if y'all remember, all these major corporations were supposedly being hacked, all right, and people's credit card information were being stolen. So that's why they put that RFID chip on your debit card, all right. And people didn't know that, all right. People really thought it was hackers. No, man. This is why you people are stupid. You American people are stupid, man. You don't see what's going on, all right. You only see what they're telling you, and what they and you believe it, all right. The scripture says, Esau, as soon as he be born, he come out speaking lies. All right, and that's what Esau was doing. All right, and this is what Esau's doing now. Okay, it says scripture said, "Be not ignorant of Satan's devices." All right, and who is that talking about? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, it says Salakia. It says the pandemic moved many ordinary transactions online from commerce and leading to unemployment benefits and business formation. That trend has increased fraudulently activity, said Richard Bird, Chief Customer Information Officer at Ping Identity Holding Corp., a security software maker that's part of the coalition. All right. So it says identity fraud loses pre-pandemic amounted to nearly 17 billion in 2019, with many incidents tied to fraudulent account openings and takeovers, according to a 2020 report by Javelin Strategy and Research. We have all this stuff that's moved to digital, except for our identities, which is the big gap, Bird said. Getting governments and businesses on the same page about accepting digital ID has the potential to reduce the amount of overhead and manual process, he said. All right, so it's more of a convenience. All right, because people are lazy, man. All right, America teaches you how to be lazy. All right, but they're saying this is going to be by taking away all this physical, social security card, a driver's license card, and just put it all in one thing and make it go digital, is going to be quicker. All right, so it's a convenience to people. All right, and that's the spirit of Esau. All right, going back to Jacob and Esau, when Isaac commanded no, I'm sorry, when Esau came in and told his brother Jacob that feed me that red pottage, all right, or else he was gonna fate and die, all right, and Esau didn't want to wait, all right, for it to be fully cooked. He just wanted to eat it just like that, man. All right, it shows you that's the spirit of Esau, man. All right, that's why you have your Burger Kings, your McDonald's. All right, it's called fast food. All right, you get it within less than 5 minutes, or within 5 minutes, or a little more. But either way, it is supposed to be beneficial to cut down, on time. All right. But the true purpose is to control you, man, with that RFID chip that's gonna come out real soon. It says it could also help curtail theft or government funds, such as the more than 550 million in Washington state unemployment benefits, believed to have been siphoned. Siphoned off by a Nigerian crime ring during the pandemic, Bird said. See? Not saying, that I let me see what, I don't know what this word means. I don't want to go off and It says draw of or convey liquid payment, draw transfer for a period of time, especially legally or unfairly. Okay, so basically, I think they're saying is that let me see. It's a lot. Where was I? Damn, I lost it. Shoot. Damn, it's a lot. I got lost. Where I was at. Anyways, that's fucking. All right, here we go. It said it could also help curdle theft government funds such as the more than $550 million in Washington state unemployment benefits believed to have been siphoned off by a Nigerian crime ring during the pandemic. So I guess they were supposed to be stealing money. Don't, you know, says government authority, the coalition whose members also include Equifax, which is a credit union company, one of the three major credit union companies, Norton LifeLock, and Wells Fargo Co. has maintained that state and federal governments must drive the initiative by providing digital formats of physical government-issued IDs such as driver license or passports. You see? All right? So they're pushing it to governments, to the federal government to push out this digital ID, all right, on the masses of the people, all right? Because technically America's falling behind. You know, all the other countries, you know, they're already in or moving into a digital society, all right? It says government is the only authoritative provider of identity, but its systems are stuck in the paper and plastic world, you see? Said Jeremy Grant, the coalition leader. Colorado created a mobile app for digital driver licenses that are legally accepted for transactions in the state. Colorado had nearly 64,000 accounts using the digital ID app as of September 8 and has seen a 6% to 7% monthly growth rate for new accounts since February. A state government spokesman said nearly 1,500 people have renewed their license through the app, while many motor vehicle departments were shuttered during the pandemic. But most states lack the resources to overhaul their information technology infrastructures to offer digital IDs, Grant said. The coalition estimates it would cost DMV nationwide from $2.5 billion to $3 billion to offer digital ID, Grant said. Legislative effort. The coalition has also supported privacy and cybersecurity standards and the interoperability needed to ensure digital IDs are accepted across borders and industries. The bipartisan Improving Digital Identity Act introduced Friday aims to address some of the issues. The legislation, spearheaded by Republican Bill Foster, would provide grants to states to implement digital IDs. It would create a group of state and federal policymakers housed within the White House to coordinate a national approach to digital identity for use in the public and private sectors. All right, you see? So they want to push this out on you people, man. So they want you to slowly get used to this digital way of life. So when they bring in this RFID, so when they say, oh, look, you can't use your phone anymore, all right? We're going to have to put this chip in you, all right? This is going to be the official way of buying, selling for identity purposes and things of that sort. And the only way for you to move within the society is by having this chip in you. All right? So we know what's going on, ESO, man. You're not going to trick those that are in the know. All right? It says the National Institute of Standards and Technology would be tasked with developing privacy and security standards for governments offering services for digital ID verification. The legislation would also require for the first time a comprehensive review of all government regulations mandating the use of social security numbers. So much of people's daily lives are spent conducting businesses online, whether it's banking, investing, shopping, or even communicating with doctors. Foster said in an emailed statement, it became vitally important to ramp up safeguards to protect against identity theft and fraud so that both consumers and businesses can have confidence in online transactions and the peace of mind of protecting sensitive information. And that's the whole lie. All right, that was the lie with with these corporations being hacked in 2013, 14, 15, like I was saying before, where they had to basically put a RFID chip on your debit card. All right. All right. Esau's coming in with his lies, saying it's a safe way to protect your sensitive information, which is bullshit, man. The whole goal is to control you. All right. With this chip that they're getting ready to push out. Given the legislation timing, the bill is unlikely to get enacted this year, although there has been a tremendous amount of interest in digital ID since the pandemic started, Grant said. The legislation emphasizes the government sectors but would have a cascading effect on industries, Bird said. When you drive out doubt about the user and you're certain they are who they say they are, I can guarantee you'll begin to uncover all the other problems that are downstream in that particular issue, he said. Privacy first. The bill focuses on privacy standards. It's critical, said Joe Stuntz, a former White House cyber and national security policy staffer and now director of federal and platform at Virtue, a digital privacy and encryption company. The main concern is linkage, where people's medical, financial, tax, education, location, and social media data could be interconnected, Stunt said. The ability of organizations to have access to a single identity that taps into all those data pools, even for legitimate purposes, is scary from a privacy perspective, he said. Digital ID creators need to balance efficiency and the ability to use the same credentials in a way that halts oversharing and ensures anonymity, Stunt said. NIST has the expertise and prior experience to help find the balance, he said. All right. So they're all saying, it's good for your privacy. All right. It's a safer way to have everything go digital. All right. It's a more safer convenience. All right. But at the same time, it's not. All right. It says rethinking verification, creating digital IDs go beyond replacing physical ones, said Christine Leung, global lead for decentralized identity and biometrics at Accenture. Many regulations still require in-person interactions for identity verification, which is difficult when government agencies are shuttered or operating remotely. She said the House legislation would push governments to think through some of those procedures and whether they can be updated, Leong said. Governments can also foster cross-sector collaboration, she said. A bank and a telecom company could use customers' information to help one another authenticate the same person, she said. It isn't something that one organization can necessarily do by themselves because it requires everybody to accept it and to trust it. All right? That's key. All right? And that's why Esau is going to push it out as a convenience. All right? Apostle Tar says they're going to package this thing nicely where everybody's going to trust it and accept it. All right? And then there's going to be those that don't trust it because they know what's going on. All right? And I guess you can call that the quote-unquote woke. All right? But it says story updated to... yeah, that was the end of the article. Okay? So they want you people, all right, to so-called trust this new way of life, all right, going digital, all right, which really the monster behind it is to control you, all right, to control your spirit, man, all right, to have absolute control of you, all right, with this RFID chip, which they're slowly beginning to introduce, because they know a lot of people going to rebel. And that's why during the whole COVID-19 thing, you had all these military tanks being spread throughout the country, man, for that time, because they know people are going to rebel. All right. Um. Anyways, with that, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai, Ba'Shem Kakudash, Shalom.